What's up, everyone? Nathaniel here at Curio Garage, back in the DMV area now in Virginia. And for all the homies out in California, it's not where you go get your tag titles. It's actually where I was born and raised, DC, Maryland, Virginia metro area. And then if you saw the previous videos, we were out in California. We linked up with Danny at Static Garage. We checked out his slammed IS300 sitting on T37s. And we also checked out his warehouse and where he does all his YouTube stuff. If you didn't see that video, you definitely have to check it out. We also were over there conducting an appointment. We did an all-around fender roll on a silver IS300 for a client. His name is Andrew. I want to give him a special shout out because he did everything the right way. No Mickey Mouse stuff. He had the right wheel specs, the right tire specs, and the right suspension setup. And with all those combined, with our craft, we were able to complete and finish his goal on his fitment setup on that car. Pretty much she was lowered as much as he could without rubbing, and it was sitting right above the tire how he wanted it. And as you see, I have another Lexus IS300 here, except this is a wagon. We're gonna get in more detail into this in just a little bit, but for now, I wanted to follow up with all my clients, supporters, and followers, and even everyone who's new to the page or the channel. If you don't know about what we do here or where we've been at, I'm gonna explain it just a little bit in this video. But this is our new official location. I'm only showing 50% of it because it's not all the way done. We got brand new garage doors though. Got fresh paint, slack gray color on the floor, and we got like a purplish lavender color on the walls, and we did a two-tone because it's just me, a friend, and a contractor working on this little upgraded project for the warehouse. But I decided to go with these colors because they contrast very, very well, and I feel like it makes the lighting and the car and everything just pop. So it's gonna be really good for YouTube content, I hope. Let me know what you guys think. I actually plan on putting a lift right here. That way I can, proceed with the research and development for fitment, measurements for the wheels, make sure everything fits right, make sure that fitment's right, fender rolling, bag installs, etc. All that's gonna go down in that little section right there. I plan to keep this open concept, and then I don't know what to really do there yet, but I do wanna have a TV mounted up somewhere so I can do like live videos or just have stuff playing in the background or like tutorial or whatever, But whatever you guys think, let me know in the comment section for this 50% of the warehouse, and then we'll get more in tune into that video of the warehouse and the space and all that later on. But for now, let's get started with this right here. This right here is a 2003 Lexus IS300 sports cross wagon. In my opinion, super slept on chassis and car, and they're pretty rare, pretty hard to come by. This one's a good example of a clean one. Just with that window tint and that little drop alone, it just looks phenomenal. This is literally the perfect daily. It's actually a daily driver. And now what we're gonna be doing is fender rolling. Boom, that right there. This tool right here will create enough clearance for you to fit aggressive wheel setups without rubbing or anything like that. So, just so y'all know, if you guys already purchased a sticker, and if not, I do have a few more. It's my logo right here. So, I know a lot of people have been putting it on backwards. I do want to explain this in the video so nobody puts it on backwards anymore. The top bar or whatever of the logo is in kanji, in Japanese. So that goes to the top. This C stands for Curio, the G stands for Garage. I have it set up like this because I really like the idea. My homie Kevin actually helped me out with the graphic design on it. But yeah, this fender rolling tool is what we'll be using today. We're gonna be using a basic jack since we don't have the lift yet. Little stool and chair. Got, a little hammer, knife or whatever to cut the fender liner, trim it up. Got a breaker bar because you don't wanna ugga-dugga every freaking wheel. We're not like, Mickey Mouse shop over here. But also got the heat gun so we don't crack any paint. We'll save that a little bit for later, but this right here is gonna, like I said, we're gonna have a fender roll. We're gonna go a little more in depth in fender rolling and what exactly it consists of. I know in the last video, I kind of just did a before and after, a little glance at it. So this video will be a little bit longer if you guys want to stay tuned on it and learn a little bit about what I do. here and what fender rolling really is and what it consists of. So the goal here is we have a factory fender. From the factory, you have, you know, the fender liner and the clips. That's all cool and all, but when you get wider wheels and they start, you know, getting closer to here, you're gonna rub. So this little lip, essentially, the goal is to roll this little lip flat. And you don't want to roll it too flat where it's paper thin, because let's say you're lowered and you're sitting like, you know, right there, you could possibly buckle it, and you don't want to have that happen. So you roll it flat, but not too flat. And keep in mind, not all fenders are the same, so not every roll is going to look the same. Some fenders can roll flat as possible and they'll be fine, but not all the fenders can do that, because you'll actually bulge out the body right here, and that's the last thing you want to do. So after the roll, it should still be looking like this. Personally, here we keep the fender liner because it's there for a reason. You don't roll all the way down there because you need to keep these plastic tabs holding your fender liner back. There's two ways that we do it. We're just going to show one way on this car because we already know his goal. We know he's not going to be slammed to the ground. So we're just going to trim the fender liner around the section that we're rolling, and it's also going to create clearance for the tire without scraping or rubbing on anything. Also, just want to mention this: if anyone has an IS300 out there and you've already had a roll and you're still rubbing in this section, it's actually the metal here is very tough to fold back, and actually you don't want to keep trying to make it flat because you're going to mess up the fender. Lexus fenders in general, they don't really like to be rolled, but to get a full roll on an IS300, you actually have to remove the caliper. So if your fender roller didn't do that, that's probably the reason why you're still rubbing. But anyways, you don't want to roll all the way always. You usually do like this section to here, because that's where you're turning and that's where your clearance is mainly at. You'll never have to roll all the way down there. You do have to sometimes go all the way down here for some cars, but not all the cars. And then for the rear, I'll show you a better example of what we're talking about, what the goal is. So this inner lip right here is essentially, you know, pretty thick. That's gonna get rolled, pushed back with the tool that I showed you guys earlier. And then you'll have clearance for bigger wheel setups and all that. Yeah, now that we have it in the air, we're able to see his fresh suspension setup. See that fire sway bar right there. Got the adjustable end links. He's got the Fortune autos on here. Got newer upper control arms. And that Cusco bar that's sitting right there. But yeah, now we get to this roll. So this is what I was talking about. We're keeping the fender liner, we're just gonna trim it. So let's do it. Once you're done trimming, toss that, get rid of it, and now you have clearance. No need to remove the liner. Just trim around the section you're rolling, and now we're gonna prep it and start rolling. All right, caliper's off, and then everything's clean and prepped, ready to go. Now for the roller, it's on there. I'm gonna have to adjust it multiple times. It doesn't just stay in this position. It's in this current position because that's kind of where the lip is sitting at right now. And then you kind of massage it until it gets flat. And you're using heat, and I use the temperature gun, etc. So y'all see me do this. And before I get started on the rear, I need you guys to see this. This right here is top-notch quality suspension parts. I mean, we had Fortune Auto, we got the Figs toe arms, we got everything. Hold up. Woo! Sheesh! Got the Cusco. My man ain't playing games out here. Let's go ahead and get started on this roll.